up, we have gate 13, which is the fellowship of man, and the gate of the listener. Gate 13 is part of collective abstract circuitry, and it links up with throat gate 33. So we have
Nice.
gate 13, the listener.
So this listener, I'm going to read the heading below the line. This one is, again, a little bit elusive. I mean, we understand listening, right? That's easy. But universal ideas and values, notice ideas and values in an ordered framework. Well, who's ordered? But in an ordered framework which inspires humanistic cooperation. Okay, yeah, whatever, maybe. Except when you pull it all apart, this towards a humanistic cooperation, gate 13, that was listening, its job ultimately in the gate of I remember, that voice that's in 33 right above it in the throat. When you put I remember and this gate that's also aloof half the time, you put it with gate 13 that has busy hearing everyone else's secrets and people come to a lot. What you end up getting is someone who's able to retell the story and retell it in such a way that has a certain amount of stimulatingness to it, right? That's part of the circuitry that has its discovery that has happened. So that means it's now embedded in the body. The body knows. It's not just the mind came up with something, the body knows. And that voice that then comes out of the individual inspires the humanistic cooperation ultimately, because the story they tell is the thing that everyone else says, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's part of the thing. This channel of the prodigal, which this is part of, is our direction that looks from the past, right? So 7 is in the car example of the driver. The 7 stares out the windshield. The 1 is busy with its navel or whatever, and 13 is looking in the rearview mirror. Where were we? What's back there? Is something coming upon us that we'll need our army for? What is this? And after it answers, what is this? Because collective human experience gets deposited in the Sphinx Gate 13. That's its deposit spot. 46 is the end of that basic thing. Even 35 in the throat will come all the way down and up through the experiential format and deposit all that stuff in this genetic codon that's job energetically inside the liver, giving us an identity, a sense of love and direction that says everyone, if their love and direction doesn't feel right, wants someone else to tell them a story and talk to them. That's what's in here. They don't want the army. The army is the dude that tries to fix it, right? I need you to listen. And then after you listen, maybe something will come out that was worth saying, but only after the experience, only after the expectation that wasn't supposed to matter, only after the stimulating moment and the idea and the ideals. This is very much the meaning of movement towards communion, because what it remembers, it then has to share with the other. And it can't share with people, won't share well with folks it doesn't love. It won't share well with folks it's not in a tribe with in some way, shape, or form, even if it's a temporary one. It's going to share as the prodigal that came back to tell the rest of the story that the village needed to hear. So now take that example and put it into your regular life where it's to people that might need to hear, to yourself that needs to hear. Gate 13 talks to yourself as much as it can talk to the others as about what happened. Ultimately, it says, I remember. And when it says, I remember, it basically locks everyone in place for a moment to hear, what is it you remember? And as soon as it makes sense, that rear view looking that it does, looking backwards, drives a direction forward. And you put these two 13 and the 7 together, and that's what you get from the rear view mirror through to the forward out the windshield. And again, as I always love to point out, all of that is in service of gate 1 so that the unique creative self can come out. So that's gate 13. Everyone's telling you secrets. Everyone's always telling you stuff. If you got a gate 13, you're always hearing it. And it's always abstract at first. You never know. And it might lead to an experience. Can't tell. Until it's out of that rearview mirror moving forward in your creative self. Now you can tell. And soon you'll have something you get to share. And so 13 acts like a glue, cohesively keeping us all in the know of what once was. In the penta, this becomes the accountant and the record keeper. Yeah, and the person that keeps all the pictures in the scrapbook.
The one who's like storing the memories.
Yes. Gate 1 might say, I got this cool picture and whip them a Polaroid. But if they can't come back later and say, hey, do you remember I threw you a Polaroid? Can I look at that? Gate 13's the one that glued it to the dang scrapbook. If we're up to gate 1, it would have been on his dresser and then on the floor, and now it's scratched, and maybe he picks it up later. I'm describing myself, by the way.
Yeah, gate 13 is very much that listener and the secret keeper, and sometimes the secret, I guess the secret teller would then be
Yes.
33. The storyteller, the secret teller, but the 13
Yeah.
is like the memory box, the hope chest that's keeping all the stories, all the secrets, listening to all of it.
Yeah. Gate 56 on top of the throat is simply in a metamorphic process, synthesizing ideas into something stimulating. It's not yet weighty. It's not yet the collective story. I'm sorry, but you give everyone amnesia for a few minutes and they want gate 13. What happened? What's the collective story? What's the scoop? We need that. I mean, we write books, dude, all the time. Books is a collective 13 business, most of them, except for training manuals, and other things that scientific manuals, or even them are both. So all of our stuff is wrapped up in this 713. What was it before? Where are we moving to? What was it before? Where are we moving to? I hope it was good before. It better be good where we're going.
Yeah, that collective direction from knowing the past.
Right.
It's like you need to know your collective past direction in order to be able to move forward in a way.
Or you've lost out. And by the way, without it, the entire society becomes unmoored, unanchored. Just like that example. Do you remember the phrase, Moni? 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh yeah, three sheets then. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I was thinking of like remember who you are. Like
God,
remember
that
who
comes
you
from here.
and like yeah, remember who you are, where you came from. It's like having that orientation of direction on this collective level based on the understanding of the stories and the secrets of the past.
Well summed up. I
Thanks.
don't want to add anything to that. That was
Thanks.
perfect. Yep.
Perfect. You ready to
That was
mosey?
textbook language, what you just read, what you just said there. Yep.
I'm doing it. I'm learning.
That came out naturally?
Yeah.
'Cause I wasn't looking at you. I was lost in the euphoria of what you were saying.
Oh,
Yep.
thanks. No, that came out very naturally. I feel like I'm falling more and more into keynotes and linking to get them together in some new ways.
Perfect.